welcome back to the Matrix. If you feel like life is still happening to you, like you're stuck in these cycles of fear, anger, and sadness, and you feel like your past still has like a grip and a control on the life that you're creating for yourself, then this video is for you. Because I'm not here to teach you how to add more into your life. I'm here to show you how to alchemize what's already within you. This is how I changed everything. Not by fixing myself, but by dissolving the parts of me that I wasn't even meant to carry in the first place. I want to walk you down memory lane for a second and bring you back to one of the most painful experiences I've ever had in my life, which was a few years ago when my ex-partner broke up with me. So, this was a relationship that I was heavily invested in. I thought this was it. I thought this was my person. I thought this was my circumstance that, I was going to live with for the rest of my life. I was so intertwined with this relationship. I had so much trust in this person that she even got invited to my uncle's wedding. So she attended my uncle's wedding. We had a great time. And 5 days later, she comes over. This is like when my parents were, I think, in India, for a trip. And I was like home alone for a couple of weeks with my dog. And she came over and she broke up with me like 5 days later after the wedding. And obviously, that moment triggered a huge wave of abandonment issues, over-attachment, a lot of insecurity, isolation. I was spiraling into regret, shame, a lot of embarrassment. I didn't want to obviously feel any of it. I wanted to completely forget about it, completely repress it, so that I could essentially bury it forever. This was going into my 4th year of my undergrad, and I remember that first semester of my 4th year, I was literally just numbing myself with substances, partying, isolating myself from my close friends, from other people, from meeting other people, from attending classes. I would skip a lot of classes. I procrastinated a shit ton. I was binge eating. I literally remember waking up, and I wouldn't even get out of my bed. I had like this drawer right beside my bed. I would just open that drawer, pick out a bag of chips, a bag of candy while I was like binge watching like The Office or some shit. And I was literally just alone. By myself. I wasn't actually alone, but I felt like I was alone. I was the only one who was understanding the pain that I was going through. Like, I remember there would be days, like a string of days where I literally would not even leave my apartment building. I would just be cooped up, watching a bunch of movies and TV shows, doing my assignments through ChatGPT, the vibes. And like the occasional hangout with my friends, like outside of my building or like in their room, which was like across the street. I really did think I could outrun my pain by distracting myself. And, this happened for a few months in my 4th year. And eventually, I applied to this master's program because I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do. I somehow got into the master's program. And, when that program started, I started to kind of keep myself busier with schoolwork and, meeting other people, of course. But, those repressed emotions and feelings followed me there. Numbing myself during that whole time didn't do shit for me. It literally just made it worse. And I can remember in the first year of the program, I was very timid, very quiet, very kind of to myself. And overall, just very disconnected from my courses, from my new classmates, from, my new way of living and working. And then during my internship in the 2nd year of the program, I had my spiritual awakening and I tried everything the self-help world and, the TikTokers and YouTubers and the manifestation space told me to do. Because I was kind of learning that, self-concept and your self-image have a direct correlation on your results in your life. I was trying all these, cold showers, scripting techniques, visualization, obviously meditation, vision boards, affirmation lists, sleep tapes, literally anything that I could find that resonated with me at some sort of level. I was trying it out. And I feel like you've probably done the same. It honestly didn't do shit for me in general. Like, I felt some sort of like relief, I guess, but it was really just like surface level results that I was getting. It felt like I put a band-aid over a very deep wound. And it also felt like a second job. Like I was spending so much time watching these videos and trying these methods and spending so much energy on things outside of myself. I really did feel like I was chasing a version of myself that I didn't even feel connected to in the first place. And really, like, no matter how much I tried to like manifest the life of my dreams, that pain from that relationship and from my, past traumas kept bleeding into every part of my life. My confidence, my self-worth, my purpose, my self-love. And then soon after, I discovered the real truth. I couldn't manifest a new life from the energy of my wound itself. I had to somehow figure out a way to heal those parts of me, heal those repressed parts of me that were essentially preventing me from growing spiritually and personally. I had to realize that going inward was the answer. Transmuting that shadow into more light was the answer. And that's where I discovered alchemy, inner alchemy, the art of transformation, the art of transmuting your limitations into your limitless potential. And this is literally what completely changed my entire paradigm, my entire life, my entire self-image. It essentially created a safe space for me, no judgment, no filters. It taught me to slow down, to appreciate stillness, and understand the process of actually feeling into these repressed emotions. And it really taught me to question myself, question my every action or behavior that I was taking. Why am I doing this right now? Why am I feeling this right now? What am I trying to avoid by procrastinating, by binge eating, by talking shit about other people, by not forgiving that person, by not forgiving myself? Alchemy taught me how to sit with my pain, not identify with it, but observe it from a non-judgmental lens. It taught me how to literally track where my pains felt in my emotional pain body. Whether it was my gut, my feet, my legs, my chest, my throat. I was breathing through it all, honestly. I was allowing my pains, my traumas, those, past memories that used to haunt me to be seen, to be felt, and most importantly, unconditionally loved by me. And I discovered that over time, by doing this repeatedly, those heavy energies that used to kind of weigh me down, that used to control every aspect of my life, simply began to dissolve into more of my authentic nature, more of my true power and essence. It wasn't through force, it was through acceptance. It was through forgiveness, self-forgiveness. And it was through unconditional love that I had to learn how to cultivate. I didn't know what the fuck it felt like, to be honest. I literally had to discover it for myself for the first time and realize that I didn't need an external partner to fulfill that desire of love. In my opinion, this is way better than the entire self-development niche, which kind of like preaches about changing your habits, changing your thoughts. But it's like, okay, what about the core root of why I even have those thoughts or those habits in the first place? Once you kind of dissolve those root causes, the habits and the thoughts are naturally gonna just change. Like this shit that I'm talking about is real alchemy. This is turning your pain into your power, turning your fear into your faith, turning your trauma into your treasure. And since learning about inner alchemy, I've been able to alchemize any limitation that I previously used to hold really close to me and used to kind of identify a lot with, whether it has been social anxiety, a lack of self-love, isolation, feelings of unworthiness, a lack of purpose. I've been able to essentially rewire a lot of my beliefs around love, money, business, and most importantly, my own identity. And it wasn't through some trendy TikTok or YouTube technique. It was through my own awareness. It was through my own presence. And I know it kind of sounds too good to be true because I feel like I felt the exact same way. But I think until you actually go through the whole process and use the resources that I have in that WhatsApp group below, you'll start to realize that you'll never need to seek externally from yourself ever again. You're never going to need to rely on any healing technique because you become your own healer. You become the thing that you have been seeking your entire life. And that's why now I help others do the same thing. I help them walk through and help them kind of facilitate this alchemy session so that they can literally feel that pain, that trauma, that, repressed memory that feels like it has so much control over them. It literally is just a sensation in your body that you can dissolve with your own awareness and with your own love. You don't need to fix who you are. You just need to release the parts of you that were never truly you in the first place. You don't need another technique. You need the courage to feel, because literally everything you are seeking in life is already within you. You just need to experience that for yourself. It's literally just waiting to be remembered. Essentially, your treasure is buried where your fears live. Trust me, you are way, way more powerful than your mind can possibly comprehend at this moment. This is coming from someone who felt like the most useless person in the world. Literally, I felt like there was nothing that could help me in this life. Trust me, bro. Stop looking at those YouTube videos. Stop watching those manifestation videos. Just sit with yourself. See what kind of thoughts pop up. See what kind of beliefs and limiting beliefs that you're holding inside your own body and mind. Feel the energy behind them. Feel the emotions behind them. Feel the sensations that you've been repressing, that you've been storing, that you've been burying essentially. And just sit with them. Literally just sit with them, feel them, breathe through them. And you'll soon discover that the more you do that, the less effect they have on you. Because all those pains, those traumas, those, bad memories and identities that you've been carrying around can only persist when you resist them. As soon as you start to reintegrate these parts of you and start to understand and realize the truth behind them, the only purpose they're going to have for you is essentially just great stories to tell people and something to look back on to realize how much progress that you've been making. Trust me, the real you is not broken. It is literally just buried at this moment. And you shouldn't feel the need to wait until your external circumstances change for you to address those parts of you. You need to kind of start to realize that by going within and changing those parts, that's when the external circumstances can change. So literally, what is stopping you from trying this today? Deep down, you know the truth. You know that this is the path. All it takes for you right now is to just step into that knowing. Step into that knowing that you have everything you need right at your fingertips, right within your own awareness. So, just take a leap of faith today. See where it takes you. Anyways, that's it. Peace.